Alright, I want to take a quick look at a new list template that's coming out from Microsoft. It's available in one of our tenants here, so that's where I'm going to show this to you or demo it. And basically, it's a video playlist template. And this is kind of an answer to a function that we've lost as part of the transition from Classic Stream to Stream on SharePoint. You used to be able to build a playlist in Classic Stream and then add videos to that playlist so you could kind of present it as a kind of a cohesive list that people could then watch through. And you can kind of do that with SharePoint using pages and the highlighted content web parts. You can kind of get there, but Microsoft is releasing this new playlist template that's going to make it a little bit easier to build and also look a little bit nicer. I've gone through this a couple times already, and it's pretty cool, pretty easy to use. But there are a couple of gotchas that I'll highlight as we go through. So first off, you need some videos because this is really meant to work with video or audio content. I don't have any audio files, but I have some videos. And just to make things easy, I have put those into a separate document library here labeled or called videos. So, and these are recordings of our Microsoft 365 workshops for December and for January. So what I'd like to do is, and within here I could just basically point people to here, and they could even use this tile view to kind of browse it, but it's not necessarily that user friendly and not that good looking. So the list template is a good way to kind of customize it and make it look a bit better. But like I said, it is a lists template or list template, and whether you call it Microsoft list, SharePoint list, they're the same thing. So you'll be able to create these from the Microsoft Lists app, and even create it as a, in the My List area as a personal playlist. But in this case, I think it's probably going to be a little more useful to create these in SharePoint sites, because that's probably where you're going to be sharing videos. Also, kind of highlights the fact that creating this playlist, when you add the videos to the playlist, it's simply collecting them, aggregating the links really to those videos. It's not giving permission. So if you were to build a personal playlist and link to a bunch of videos that are in your OneDrive, for example, and then share that list with somebody else, if they don't also have permissions to those videos in your OneDrive, then they're not going to be able to watch them. So that's kind of, that could be a big disappointment. But that's yet another reason I think this is going to be a much bigger thing, much more relevant to use in SharePoint. So anyway, enough talking. Let's jump in and do some demo here. So I'm going to go to the home page of my sample department hub site. There's our videos library, and I'm going to click the new button and select list. And then in the templates here, select playlist. And you can see kind of what this is going to look like. There's a thumbnail, there's the title, and there's the owner of it. There's also a duration column. So yeah, let's go ahead and use this. So I'll click Use Template, and I'll call this, let's create one for the December workshop. So December M365 workshops, and click Create. And it is going to add a link in the site navigation. So there we go. So there is our playlist. Now we need to add some content to it. Now this is where things get interesting, because in the realm of SharePoint you have lists which hold items, and you have libraries that hold files. So that videos library is a document library, and this is a list. But when we add a new item, this is kind of a customized experience where we need to pick files. So it wants me to select documents. Well, it's defaulting to the documents library, but I'll just click the switcher there and select videos. And here I'll just select the December workshops, so the ones that are 2022 12 something. So we'll select all of those. And then I've got some from January, but I'll put those in a separate playlist. So I've got 6 selected. I hit select, and that's it. Now, it does appear to add them to the playlist in the order they were selected, which may not be the order you want to present them in. Now, if we just look at this as is, and it's a nice layout. We've got the video here. We've got the player on the right-hand side. Let me just turn my volume down so this doesn't blow out my microphone. But if I select one of these, I can see that it starts playing. It's easy to use. It's very user-friendly. But the fact that I can't control how they're ordered over here, to me, is a little bit of a hang-up. Because as the person who, if this is, the idea here is you're curating this playlist, you probably want to present things in a specific order. And that's something that's just not part of this template. So there are a few different ways, and because it is a list template, there are multiple views. This is a playlist view. What I'm kind of hoping is that they release this as just another view type that we can add to a document library that would kind of automatically play videos or add videos that are in that library, but probably not. But hey, we can hope. But anyway, I'm going to go over to the all items view, which this is where we see the thumbnail, we see the title, we see the owner, and the duration. And what I'm going to do in order to give me a way of ordering these, there are a bunch of different ways you could do it. You could name them all appropriately, change the titles to 1 dot and then whatever the title is, and 2 dot whatever the title is. To me, that's kind of tedious, and then just order them by the title. So you could do that. I would rather do something that doesn't involve me artificially changing the title of the video. So I'm going to add a column here, and I'm just going to make it a number column, and just simply call it display order, and leave the space out of it. Make sure it's a number. Hit save, and there we go. And then I have 6 items here, so I want to. Oh, that's interesting. You apparently cannot. It's not allowing me to edit in grid view. So I'm wondering if that's a quirk of this particular list template. I guess because you can't really add things through grid view, maybe it's not allowing that. Anyway, so we're going to have to do this kind of the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to click on that. And so this is the first one, so I'll give this a display order of 1. And just click somewhere else and close out that. And then this would be the second one, so that'll be 2. Now I want my Microsoft Teams to be the third one, so I'll go down and make that 3. SharePoint should be 4. Intro to automation should be 5. And then Microsoft Forms should be 6. All right, easy enough. Now, the next thing I need to do to basically get those to show up in that order, because if I simply go back over to our playlist view, they're still back in that order that they were added in. So I need to change this view to sort them in that order. But if I click edit current view, oh, actually I can just click that. I wasn't expecting it to give me the classic interface, but it does. So that's actually great, because then all I need to do is scroll down to the sort here and select display order, ascending, and click OK. So hey, there we go. So we've got intro to M365, OneDrive, Teams, SharePoint, intro to automation, and forms. So bingo. In that quickly, we were able to solve the one problem that I really found. There probably are other problems, other things I'm not going to like about this, but that to me stuck out as kind of the sore thumb of, the one thing that I expect a playlist builder to do is let me specify the order to play the things in, or to display the things in, and it wasn't there. So Now that's added. That's great. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the playlist template. Just to kind of reinforce a couple of the points. This is simply just an aggregation. It's a way to display the videos. It does not give any. It doesn't share the videos. Doesn't give permissions to the videos, etc. It's simply a way of showing those videos. So if I wanted to, incorporate this onto this playlist onto maybe the home page of my site, I can go to home. I can click edit, and then I'll just add a web part here. It'll just be the lists or list web part. And we'll select December M365 workshops. And I'll edit that to use the playlist view. Click apply. Not sure why now it seems to be allowing grid view and even going to that by default. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'm going to hide the command bar, hide the see all button, click apply, and let's republish the page and see what that looks like. So that is a little under. I was expecting it to do the playlist layout. Let me just edit this and make sure that that is selected. This may be another issue, or may just be something that hasn't rolled out yet, because as I said, this template is showing up, but it doesn't mean that all the components that make up the template and all the functionality is 100% there. So yeah, that is supposed to be using the playlist. At least it is ordering them in the proper order, but I guess maybe because it is in let me just try. No, I was hoping if I had expanded the window larger, it would use the playlist view, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. So that's a little disheartening. It's not quite as friendly in the list view web part here, but again, that might just be a quirk that they need to figure out. But in terms of simply allowing people to maybe just sending this link out to folks so they can view those, that would be perfectly fine. But again, just to reinforce, the people visiting the site would need, obviously they would need read access to the site, and then they would be able to have, play the videos back. But if the videos were being pulled from somewhere else, even if it's a place that I have access to but they don't, then they're not going to see those videos. So just keep that in mind as you're building these playlists.